Hey, mama. So, if you have been in the online space for any amount of time, you've probably heard about the importance of hiring a coach. And while that is true, we also can't ignore all of the talk about, coaches not doing right by their clients and just the horror stories you've heard, right? And so I wanted to create this episode just to basically share why I believe in hiring a coach, even as a life and business coach, because I truly believe that regardless of what it is that you do in your business, you need a coach. Now, yes, you want to choose the right coach, but before we even get into choosing the right coach, because I am dropping an episode about that on Thursday, let's talk about why it even matters when it comes to, investing in coaching and hiring a coach. And I just wanted to share kind of like my heart, why I firmly believe in hiring a coach. All right, let's jump into today's episode. Hey, mama. Are you tired of feeling stressed and overwhelmed trying to grow your online business with your babies at home? You desire more flexibility in your day, allowing you to pour into your family, yourself, and your business without running yourself into the ground. Mama, you can build your dream business and do it in a way that fits your current season of life. And I'm going to show you exactly how. Welcome to the Mama Turned Mompreneur podcast. I'm your host, Andria Singletary, daughter of the king, wife, mama of two, and life and business coach for mompreneurs. On this podcast, you will learn business strategies made for mamas just like you, who desire to be successful CEOs and fully present mamas without stress or overwhelm. So whether you're an entrepreneur who transitioned to a mompreneur or a mama turned mompreneur, I am here to support you. So grab your coffee, notebook, and pen, put in those earbuds, and let's dig in. Okay, mama. So why do I believe in hiring a coach as a life and business coach? Well, the first reason is that I believe that it's important as a coach, a service provider, whatever it is that you do, to lead by example. How can I tell you that you should work with me? You should hire me as your life and business coach, yet I don't invest in coaching myself. That would make me a hypocrite, right? Like, I am a firm believer in leading by example, in showing my community, like, not only am I telling you to apply these strategies, to invest in these things, to do these things, I do them myself. And I think that's so important, right? Because it also gives me an opportunity to be on the other side of coaching. So yes, I have experience with coaching clients, but I also have experience with being coached myself and what it feels like to work with an amazing coach and to work with a coach that maybe isn't the best fit. And so I'm able to put myself in your guys' shoes, right? I'm able to relate, and a big part of how I have structured my life and seasons coaching is based off of that experience, not just from working with clients, but also my experience with being coached, with working with other coaches, with, really as a mom, kind of figuring out like, well, what do I actually want and need and like when it comes to a coaching relationship? And I truly believe like when it comes to coaching, like one of the reasons why it has such a bad reputation is that a lot of coaches don't actually practice what they preach. They'll tell their communities to implement a specific strategy to get these results, but then you see them actually doing something else. And I'm just going to use this as an example because I see it all the time. On Instagram, I see coaches talking about how, they've signed all their clients through their Instagram strategy and they're telling you, to implement the strategy. Yet you go scrolling on Facebook and you see their big old ad right there on Facebook. And it's like, okay, well, can we talk about the fact that you are running ads too? And there is nothing wrong with running ads. It's just as a coach, we have to lead by example. We have to be transparent. And so if we are telling our clients to implement specific strategies that we aren't doing ourselves or we're doing it differently, well, then that's kind of a problem. There's going to be a disconnect there. And so I'm a firm believer in leading by example. The next reason why I believe in hiring a coach is that it really helps me to continue to elevate my business and how I serve my clients. It is just something amazing about having someone who is completely neutral, meaning they have no emotional ties to my business, and they come in with a fresh pair of eyes, and getting those eyes on every aspect of my business. It has honestly been a game changer. It has literally been the key to me elevating my business and hitting new goals in my business, reaching new levels in my business. And we have to really be honest with ourselves because we are too close to our businesses. And so a lot of times we can be blinded to those blaring red flags or yellow flags in our businesses. And those things that we're ignoring are the very things that are holding us back, from hitting those goals and everything. And so having someone come in, like I said, that's neutral, that has this fresh perspective, who can explain things in a way that just clicks. Like, that is why I invest in coaching. That is why I hire a coach, because I know I don't know everything, And so I need someone who can come in and help me to see those red flags and those yellow flags that I need to work on right now. And this kind of leads into my next reason, is that I don't know everything, and there is always room for growth. And we really need people who are ahead of us. They've walked in our shoes, and so they know the things that we don't know. I have gotten to the point where I refuse to fumble about in the dark trying to figure things out on my own anymore. I can't do it. I don't have the time to do it. I don't have the capacity to do it. I don't have the energy to do it. And so I invest in support, whether that is investing in coaching. And right now, full transparency, I am currently working with a coach, but I'm not going to fumble about in the dark. I'm not going to keep doing a bunch of trial and error until something finally works, when I know that there's somebody who's ahead of me and they can literally give me the roadmap, so I know that I'm on the right track. And so that is why I'm a firm believer investing in coaching, in hiring a coach, because I'm going to be real. Like, I want the shortcut to pass go and collect $200. I don't want to have to go around the whole Monopoly board before I can finally get my $200, right? I just want to be able to, if there's a way to fast track it. And I don't want to say working with a coach means that I'm going to, hit six figures in 30 days. No. But if there are certain things that this coach can teach me that's going to help me get to, my goals even faster compared to me doing it by myself, then that is what I'm going to do. Now, of course, I'm not saying go into debt over coaching. That's not what I'm talking about here. But if you have it in your budget to invest in a coach and you're tired of trying to figure it out on your own, it's time to do it, mama. You don't have time to waste. Our time and our capacity is already limited with little ones at home. And so if there's anything that we can do that can better support us and help us, hit those goals without having to sacrifice more of our time and our energy, it's time to do it. So the last reason why I believe in hiring a coach is that support and basically having my own personal cheerleader. And I know that may sound a little bit what are you talking about? But literally, when you hire the right coach, they become such a huge supporter and cheerleader and all of that. And so the coach I'm currently working with, one thing I love about her is that she engages on all my content. She hypes me up. I recently, when I was promoting the Get It Done week, I did a little boomerang of me kind of dancing, celebrating another mama who joined the Get It Done week. And so, in response to that, my coach made a boomerang of her dancing and celebrating, me having another client join the Get It Done week. And that is such an amazing thing to have that support, but also like have somebody that you can, when you're having those hard days, because being an entrepreneur is hard. Doing it while a mom is even harder. Like, don't nobody come for me, but I'm so for real. Like, entrepreneurship is hard, but then you throw on that mom hat and having little ones at home trying to run a business. It is tough. It is rough and it is hard. And so having that coach in your corner to encourage you, especially on those days where they're really, really hard, it's so needed. And this is something I hear from my coaching clients too. It's like they love that when they have those hard days, they know that they're going to get that encouragement that they need. They're going to get somebody who pours into them and reminds them to make sure they are filling their own cup, remind them that it is okay to take a step away, especially if you are not in the right headspace to do business in that moment. And they also get the support with the life side of things, because when you are a mom running a business with little ones at home, life and business are intertwined. And if things aren't good in your personal life, like if your babies are sick, you're sick, something is going on at home, that's going to impact how you show up in your business. And so my clients, they know that they can get that encouragement from me. They know that I can relate, and I'm very transparent with my clients. I share personal stories of things that I've gone through and how I've navigated it, just so they can understand like they are not alone. And I know people are probably like, so you invest in a coach for that type of support? Yes, because when it comes to running a business, entrepreneurship, unless like there are other entrepreneurs, like people don't get it. People look at you like you're crazy when you try to talk to them about your business and they work a 9 to 5. They're like, I don't know what you're talking about. That doesn't make sense. I wouldn't do that. And then you have this added layer of being a mom doing that. Even more, like it's fewer people that even understand. And so that is why I truly believe like in hiring a coach, because having that, and I've had some really, really tough seasons last year and even going into this year, and having my coach that I could lean on and just vent to and have her encourage me and to remind me to show myself grace and to, help me work through those situations when I'm so emotional that I can't even think clearly. And that's needed. And that's something that I'm able to do for my clients. But I'm also knowing that I can get that from my own coach. And so that is why I'm a firm believer in hiring a coach, because you are going to have those days. You're going to have those days when you feel like what you're doing isn't working and you want to give up and you want to burn your business to the ground. And so your coach is right there to talk you off the ledge. And I don't know how many times that my coach has helped me from that, because there are times where I'm like, I'm burning this business to the ground. I'm done. And she's like, no, you're not. Let's look at what's really going on and get to the root of the issue. And that's the same thing like for my clients too. Like I had one client who she has just had like the roughest time. And, there were times where she's like, we can stop coaching. Like, I know I have to keep slowing down and stuff like that. And I was like, ma'am, no, you stuck with me. You ain't going nowhere. We're going to work through this together, And so one of the things we had to do for her is really look at her current season of life and basically break down her goals into smaller chunks. And so instead of trying to accomplish these goals in a month, we broke them down quarterly. And now seeing how joyful she is, how excited she is about her business, and the ideas are flowing, the creativity is just flowing like She has so much clarity. That lights me up as her coach because I know where she was just a few months ago and she was not feeling that way. And so to see her there now, it's just amazing. And that is what a good coach can do for you. Like, you don't have to navigate this on your own. You don't have to figure it out on your own. Like, you can get an amazing coach who is going to walk alongside you and encourage you, but also remind you, like, hey, you need to slow down. Cause that is one of the things I do for my clients. Like, if I see them like heading down a path of burnout, I'm like, we need to pump our brakes, slow down, because I am all about supporting both my clients as women and as business owners, because I need them to be whole as a person in order to build this business. If they are not whole, then we ain't talking about business stuff. That's going to have to wait. So that is what I'm talking about, like when it comes to the importance of hiring a coach. Even if you are a coach yourself, you need that support too. And yes, you can coach yourself, but there are going to be times where like even coaching yourself is just not going to work. You're going to need somebody that you can lean on for support. And so that is why I'm a firm believer in hiring a coach. So on Thursday, I'm dropping an episode on the things to consider before hiring a coach, because like I said earlier in this episode, that there are a lot of hurt feelings when it comes to coaching, and there are a lot of people who are anti-coaches. And so I really want to give you some tips and strategies for really making sure that you are selecting the best coach for you and going into it with your eyes wide open. So that way you don't invest in a coach and then you are upset because they were not the best coach for you. You were not a good fit for their program, because there are coaches out there who they can see that you're not a good fit, but sadly they won't tell you because they're more focused on the income. Sadly, not all coaches are like that, but there are some out there. So make sure you tune into Thursday's episode. I'm also sharing a special announcement that you are not going to want to miss. Like, it's a limited time type of thing. So make sure you tune into Thursday's episode. All right, Mama, I'll catch you in the next episode. Well, Mama, that's a wrap on today's episode. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to hang with me. If you enjoyed today's episode, will you do me a favor and follow the podcast and leave a review? Hitting that follow button and sharing your thoughts about the podcast are the best ways to ensure that other mamas like you find this show. Your review also lets me know if you're enjoying this podcast, so make sure to share your thoughts before you go. All right, Mama, I'll catch you in the next episode.